Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Eden runs. Last couple, successful. Thankfully, I really appreciate it. Stats on this one are good. 834H Felk. That stands for friends. Everybody loves Cadence of Hyrule. Appears to, I mean, that's not really how you spell cadence, but appears to be true. I don't know, it's in that weird sponsored territory, right? Where, like, you know, I didn't work on the game, but my wife worked on the game. Do I have to disclose that my wife, I mean, I guess I do have to disclose that my wife worked on the game, but simultaneously, it was also a joke. Do you have to make disclosures for jokes? I don't know. It's, you know, I don't envy the FCC. In fact, I don't anything the FCC. Mostly because they won't let me be me and they try to shut me down on MTV. But it feels so empty without me. It's like if you make your own game. Do you have to, if you tweet like, hey, buy my game, disclosure, I made it. It's, I don't know, it's weird. I don't see anybody doing that, let me just be clear. Nor do I have anything to sell you, except maybe some t-shirts this year. But it's a weird area. I don't know. All I know is coming soon on my Instagram page. I'm gonna be hawking. First off, I don't even have an Instagram page, so I have to disclose this is a joke. But that tea that makes you lose 30 pounds overnight, I've gotten my people in contact with their people. They're going to become a flagship platinum level sponsor of the Northernlion channel. I think that really it overlaps with my brand because we both deal in bowl. I was trying to think about how to end the joke gracefully. I think that's as good as it gets. Starring Jack Nicholson. I think I'd rather have Game Kid. But I'm not, you know, not stressing. Get him out, get him out, get him. It's like catching a sea bream in Diner Bros. That's a reference not a whole lot of people are gonna, you know, really resonate with, but that's okay. I'm not sweating it. You know, we got above average rate of fire. We got above average damage for floor 1. Yes, I would have loved to improve upon both of them, but, you know, an item room giving us, you know, the ability to get a transformation later. It's not the end of the world. It's not immediately useful. It may never be useful. But it's not a slap in the face either. Ragman. Hurt myself. That's not very bright. I'm just very thankful that against Ragman, I decided to at least save a bomb rather than exclusively looking for the second secret room that probably contained nothing of value regardless. So we're getting out in front of him here. You know, it's like a mortgage payment. You know, you shoot the head, you're paying the interest. Then you get to sneak in a couple of shots on this guy. You get the principal whittled down. You pay less interest in the future. You get the idea. It's an understandable metaphor. Little Steven, thank you. Forget everything you thought you knew about getting a deal with the devil, okay? I don't need a dang spirit heart to get a deal with the devil. What I will do, it's a little close, but come on. 3 stone chests, a key to open 3 stone chests, basically. It's a great deal. We got 1 key out of it. We got bomb bag. I think that's where we're gonna cool it right there. Bomb bag is fairly useful. I think we got a good chassis set up today. It's one of those words, the English language's French influence is very apparent there. Another one is chamois. You know what a chamois is? A chamois is a cloth you use usually to clean or buff a car. I believe it's spelled like chamois. But I'm not 100% confident in that fact. I've only used one once, you know, back in university during what's known as Frosh Week. It's your freshman week of university. It's like an initiation. Here's in American universities, hazing is like, hey, pull your junk out. We're gonna attach, you know, an anvil to it and toss it off the roof. Now, is that a real story? No, that's the plot of the movie Old School, starring Will Ferrell, Luke Wilson, and Vince Vaughn. So that don't get too aggravated by that. It's an obviously fake story, but you know. We smack you on the butt with a big paddle. Okay, now that's The Simpsons when Homer got initiated into the stonemasons. All right, the stonecutters, sorry. It's not based on a real thing. But in Canada, they were like, hey, for your Frosh Week initiation, you gotta do a charity car wash. So we were washing people's cars. It's a different time, dude. I don't know. Do you still do this in college now? We were standing on the side of the road with a sign that said, like, charity car wash. And then, you know, we'd be waving people down, like strangers that are just driving through and going, you know, hey, come to our car wash. It seems more humble, you know? I don't know. Now you make a GoFundMe, please. It's my Frosh Week. Give me $10,000. I don't know. Kids these days. I don't know where I'm going with this bit. The real thing that makes me realize it's been a long time since my first year of university is, well, first off, mathematics. You know, I started university in the year 2006. That's is almost, I don't want to say 2 decades ago, but it's in the decade that's 2 decades ago once January 1st rolls around. You know what I mean? I started university in the 2000s. We're almost in the 2020s. Well, we definitely want diplopia. We'll probably use this to get something extra juicy out of this incoming deal with the devil. But then on top of that, our Frosh Week anthem, like, I didn't get a vote, and you'll know this based on, well, can we get wolf parades? I believe in anything. It was Pump It by the Black Eyed Peas. You know, bow, 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 bow. Oh! And so that song is forever seared into my memory, unfortunately. Because there was also a dance associated, and you know, it's not like I was participating in the dance. The reason I was participating in the dance is because it's your first week at a new establishment. You get a chance to, you know, reinvent yourself to some extent. You know, you don't have to when you go, if you're going to college, what is it? It's almost July right now. If you're going to college in late August, September, you know, it's, you're going to remember this for whenever it happens to you to begin with. Dude, okay, fine, I'll bite. It's weird, but let's do it. You don't have to reinvent yourself for college. I want that to be clear. But you do get an opportunity. You don't have to be in college an extension of the person that you were in high school, you know? You probably know some people that went to the same school as you, but, you know, it's a complete reshuffling, basically. You're meeting people that they have no concept, really, of who you are. Bombs are key, please? Yeah, it's still pretty good. You're meeting people that have no concept of who you are, pre-established notions about your personality. So I was like, you know what? In high school, I was a lot like I am right now. University, let's try out this whole, I'll be a team player sort of thing. And you know, it worked for a bit, and then I was like, I'm sick of it. Plus, we had to listen to the Black Eyed Peas. I mean, so pedestrian. Are they still around? No joke, the last 2 times I saw will.i.am on television were both re-showings of X-Men Origins Wolverine on like Showcase or something, which is our version of Showtime. Don't tell Dan. I'm just whatever happened to the Black Eyed Peas? I'm not trying. Look, if you like the Black Eyed Peas, whatever, dude. I already understand the discourse as well. Well, they were really good before Fergie joined. Well, I mean, sure. I remember watching TRL in, like, you know, the year 2001. This is a request, Mr. Radio Man. The Black Eyed Peas kind of had this mystique about them. They were like, ooh, there's that one dude, he's really, like, tall and doesn't talk. Oh, they're all named, like, freaky androids or something. It was like, you know, Prince, but not as good, like, or even close. But anyway, you know, more power to you. I'm just saying, what happened? You know, 10 years ago, they were like the biggest band on planet Earth. I think that might actually be legitimate, too. I guess they got, you know, LMFAO came out and started to, you know, eat their lunch a little bit. When I lived in Korea in 2011, you couldn't turn a corner without hearing, you know, that's not even the tune. Right? Party rock is in the house tonight. Heard that like 19 times a day. Maybe it cannibalized the Black Eyed Peas. I can't recall. I was kind of out of the loop for a while. I've managed to stay out of the loop as well. And I pride myself on that. It's part of my... It's an innate part of my character. Oh, NL, he doesn't have his finger on the pulse of the modern youth. I don't even know what kids listen to these days. I don't interact with many people in general. Why didn't I go back for Game Kit now that I think about it? You know what? We'll take a little stab on this one. But I definitely don't interact with many people like under the age of like 20. So if you're watching this, you're under the age of 20, just keep in mind the comments that you leave essentially make you an ambassador for your entire generation. The only other interaction I have with people around that age is walking around downtown Vancouver, and you know, if there's a group of more than 4 of them, they're playing some kind of song on somebody's cell phone speaker, and then just playing it for the whole city to hear, which is really nice because we live in an era where it's like almost impossible to access music. So like, I think for them to bring music to the masses is very noble. It's a noble thing. So I'm just saying you got an uphill battle. But I'm not, you know, I'm always wary about talking about stuff like that because people, if you ever criticize anything about the younger generation, there's a double standard that I'm going to point out here. So if you're allergic to real talk, don't let the door hit you on the freaking way out. If you ever criticize anything about the younger generation, people in the younger generation hit you with the most insulting comment of all time. It's a clapback, they call it. They say, oh, kids these days. Oh, it's the children who are wrong. Where's the double standard? If you ever compliment the older generation, people think you're a boomer. You know, if you're I'm not trying to say the older generation is better, because the older generation, you know, basically they're the only people left that I see leaving comments on Facebook, and it's like an ad for frozen pizza, and they're, you know, this pizza sucks almost as bad as Justin Trudeau's campaign. You're like, is this really the domain that you want to pursue here? It's an ad for Giuseppe's frozen sausage pizza. The same people that'll, you know, be up in your ear at the coffee shop. Like, when did everything get so political? BRB, one of my FB friends, just posted something I disagree with. I'm just saying, okay? I guess you know what it is. Criticize it, not criticize it, making an observation about the younger generation is unfair to some extent because they have a chance to change. You know, I did dumb things, probably rude things, abrasive things when I was younger. I grew up, and now I've solved that by not acting out in public at all. The older generation, you're kind of set in your ways, right? Like, I'm not saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But I'm saying, you know, like a 60-year-old dog probably just doesn't even really want to learn that many new tricks. It's like, stop trying to teach me new tricks, you know? You think I don't know how to be a dog? I've been a dog since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. Hey, mister. You come around here, flash a piece on the lanes, I'll take it from you. Words you can't say because of Google DeepMind language filter, pull the trigger till it goes click. Dude, you know what? I mean, I've been talking about it a lot. You ever realize... Sorry, I forgot. The enlightened approach is never see any movies ever. My mistake, I forgot. So just, like, let's get that out there. But you ever realize how freaking packed this movie is? This movie is for summer. I know what I said. This summer is for movies. Look, already, okay? If it was... The summer movie season starts like Memorial Day weekend. I saw Endgame. I saw John Wick 3. I saw Detective Pikachu. Should see Toy Story 4, I hear, is extremely good. I saw Booksmart. I loved it. I found it is a delightful comedy. Probably gonna go see Aladdin today. Spider-Man, and don't miss me with the Aladdin discourse, please, okay? I've covered it in other domains. Spider-Man Far From Home comes out next week. Midsommar comes out next week. It freaking never ends, dude. And here's the thing, okay? I understand that literally all of those except Midsommar, Booksmart, and John Wick are Disney properties, okay? I'm just gonna hit you with something. People are sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing it. Sure, is it unfortunate? Is it troubling that one distributor owns so much of the box office? Now that I think about it, I guess Detective Pikachu was also... I'm trying to think of who even distributed that. But anyway, I'll tell you what I'm sick of, okay? And apparently this is an angry episode. I'm not actually angry. I'm having a great day. But sometimes you just gotta let the discourse, you know, flow through you. What annoys me is when people are like, all Disney properties, huh? I see how it is. We submit to our Disney overlords. And we're like, oh, okay. What cool movies have you seen in theaters recently? What have you been supporting with your wallet at the box office? A lot of great indie films, and they're like, oh, heavens no, I haven't been to a movie theater since 2009. I don't like other people. I'm like, maybe it's that other people don't like you. Maybe it's that other people don't like you. Okay, based on the way you're talking about it here. I don't mind. Here's the thing. I've lived the snob life, and I still do. If you want to live the anti-corporate life, you gotta... Hold on, we do have bombs, thankfully. You don't gotta do anything, I guess, is the easy answer. You can do whatever you want and just ignore me. But if you really want to do it, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. You can't just be like, oh, you're going to the multiplex supporting Disney with all these critically acclaimed and commercially very successful movies with the exception of Aladdin. You gotta back it up and be like, I just saw at an independent movie theater the director's cut edition of David Lynch's Lost Highway. It was beautiful. David Lynch himself was there. We drank absinthe together and talked about Hideo Kojima games. You know, you owe it to yourself if you're gonna get out of the mainstream. Don't just be anti-mainstream. That's super lame. I mean, even people that work at Disney are like, oh, I can't believe we're at the top of the box office again. You think those people are not, you know, snobs in their own way? You owe it to yourself to go super weird. I haven't stepped foot in a corporate multiplex since I hit the legal age of majority. I have a lifetime membership to the Film Projectionist Society. Please do that. I'm not saying there's no middle ground. I'm just saying it's the same thing, you know. You're like, people that judge the kind of TV I watch, and then I'm like, what do you watch on TV? And they're like, you know, pirated anime. You know, there's nothing wrong with the anime section. I'm just saying, you know, if you want to shape the ecosystem, you gotta water the garden at some point, you know? You gotta put your own You gotta put your own fertilizer on the soil. And unfortunately, the fertilizer is made out of the almighty Aller from time to time. That's my 2 cents, at least. I know, it's, here's the thing. Would I prefer if not all these movies were Disney made? Well, I mean, it has a very small impact on my life in general, to be honest. But, like, I guess on a conceptual level, I would prefer it. But also, I'm not in the, the boardroom making the decisions on what companies merge, what companies don't merge. Meanwhile, half of these people who are saying, and I'm not taking a pro-Disney stance. I'm just doing what I always do and being like, has anyone considered the emotions of the large company? But, I mean, let's just be honest. This is a more fun item. Let's let it ride here. Half of the people that, and by half I mean all of the people who are like, what's it like being a Disney shill? Probably buy literally every PC game, with maybe the exception of CD Projekt Red games on Steam. And there you've actually got other options. I'm just saying, as soon as you criticize, you open yourself to criticism as well. Help me. Help. I'm safe. I'm safe. Okay. You're safe. Don't freak out. Just go. He's done it. Now, am I supporting independent games retailers? Well, not really, no. I did buy a game on itch.io last year, so I think I'm safe. It was also, I don't want to, I already gave you the story about how I gave that guy his $20 back. So I'm not trying to make myself seem like I'm some kind of saint. But if you are going to deify me, well, I mean, okay, it's about time. But it was pay what you want. Suggested donation, $2. I gave him $2.50. That's a joke. I gave him 20 bucks, but I was embarrassed to say it because then it might seem like I'm bragging about it. Especially when I monetize my own content of the game to begin with. It just seemed like an equitable exchange. I'm just, okay, alright, we've gone too far now. That was, I forget the name of the game, but it was the game where you have to sing. It was like a puzzle platformer, but you have to sing to progress. And I know you're going to be like, it's Wandersong. Not Wandersong. You literally had to sing into your microphone. It wasn't your character that was singing. I forget the name of it. It was good though. Very short, but for a student project, it was actually extremely good. Let me put it this way: in my iOS programming class, where we didn't actually use Swift and managed to just thankfully use C# because it compiled to a functional program, not a functional, to a program that functioned on iOS devices. Thankfully. We got 100% on our year-end game project, and it was about maybe like 1/80th as good as that game was, even though I don't remember its name. So they went above and beyond the Call of Duty on that one, is all I'm trying to say. Oh, that's what it was, Call of Duty! That's right. That classic experimental student game, Call of Duty. Anyway, all I'm saying is, why are you so upset with our Disney overlords? Just go see the movies and don't complain. We can't fly. We want White Pony then. No, here's what it is, okay? It's not like that. The decisions you make in your life with respect to consumption are worth examining, you know? It's like a Stardew Valley sort of situation, you know? You could buy the stuff from Pierre's shop. It might cost you a little extra. Or you can go to the Joja Mart. You can save yourself a little bit of money. But, on an ethical level, is it kind of like destroying the town? Well, it is and it isn't. It's destroying the fabric of the small businesses, but maybe, is also saving people on the bottom line. In our Stardew Valley playthrough, I don't have a Joja membership, okay? Because I want to support local businesses in that game. I don't want to turn it into part of the Rust Belt, just by virtue of my own actions. You know what I mean? But at some point, people just get a little fatigue of every single, oh, what'd you do? Oh, you went on the SeaWorld? Well, did you? Well, there's no example that I'm going with. There's, oh, we went to the movies. Oh, what'd you see? Oh, it's a Disney movie. Oh, what'd you do? You bought a game? Oh, well, You know that game was made with crunch, right? Oh, where'd you go to eat? Oh, and did you see the Subway ad where they, that was just ridiculous? I mean, you probably saw it. You get it, is what I'm saying. It's not that it's invalid to be brought up. It's just that people get sick of hearing about it. Because there's, you know, very few perfect ways to consume it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't analyze the consumption that you do. That's my 2 cents on the subject. Like, there's plenty of places in, you know, Vancouver. I'll go and be like, 1 cup of local fair trade coffee, please. And they're like, that'll be $175. And I'm like, you know, it's pricey, but you get what you pay for. And what you get is a nice sense of self-righteousness. But, you know, it's not like every time I drive by a Tim Hortons, I'm like, I can't believe that people go into there. You know, they exploit a temporary foreign workforce. And, I mean, did you see the way that when there was a union, they started the... mostly, I'm just like, I can't believe people go there. It sucks really badly. Why are you at that Tim Hortons? I don't understand. Is somebody forcing you to go there? Is this like a hostage situation? It's the great myth of Canada, or Canadians, that people think just because there's like a lot of Tim Hortons around, that Canadians love Tim Hortons. I will say it's different. You know, the Tim Hortons dynamic in a small town is like a community gathering place. You know, it's a social area. I mean, I'm sure it's the same for, you know, like Dunkin' Donuts in parts of the U.S. You know, if you live in a town with like a few thousand people and you got 1 coffee shop, you're like, dude, let's go. Or you had a couple coffee shops, let's say. You're like, let's go to the coffee shop. It'll be fine. In a big city, it's like the scariest place. Next to the multiplex when there's 9 Disney movies going head to head. But I'm not even going to mention the fact that I brought the left hand down here. Everything's hunky-dory. The only thing I'm going to say is the longer we can go without getting hit, the better off we're gonna be. Because Crown of Light is essentially double damage. I mean, it's literally double damage. Our damage without it, I think, is totally okay. But, you know, you never say no to double damage. But just, you know, I see it all the time, especially like people when they came to Vancouver for the international, or GP Vancouver, you know, the Magic tournament. Because you know, on Twitter I only follow nerds, basically. There goes our double damage. People would like land at the Vancouver airport and they'd be like, check it out, I'm in Canada, and they go to Tim Hortons, and I'm like, man, it's not that I'm saying you shouldn't go. It's more just like, you shouldn't think that it's good. Because like, we've had, particularly people from the US, they come and they go to Tim Hortons, and they're like, we went to Tim Hortons, is it just me, or is it like really garbage? I'm like, dude, it sucks. Depending on what kind, I know Starbucks burns their coffee. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not great. I just don't want you to come here and then be like, Canadians have terrible taste. Just because there's one, it's really more of it's an access issue, you know. The fact that there's Tim Hortons is literally, I mean, within walking distance of where we live, there's probably like 12 Tim Hortonses. It's an access issue. You can't afford not to go sometimes, even though I haven't been since like, literally, here's what it takes for me to go to Tim Hortons. I mean, to be fair, we have options. You know, if you live in a place where you got Tim Hortons or a gas station, I understand. Especially if you've tried the gas station. But if you haven't, I would at least give it a shot. But like 5 years ago, we had to go to the emergency room. After like 4 hours in the hospital, it was like 3 a.m. And we had a prescription. We went to like a 24-hour pharmacy to get the prescription filled. And then I was starving. I was like, you know what? While we're waiting for this prescription, I'm going to go to the only place that's open. It's Tim Hortons. And even then, I was like, maybe I should have just starved. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!